I am signaling you through the flames. Nemesis is knocking at your door. What are poets for in such an age? If you would be a great poet, strive to transcribe the consciousness of the race! Of living. Right beyond time. Be an eye among the blind. You had in childhood. Make your mind learn its way around the heart. Say the unsayable. Make the invisible visible. Become a new mind and make it newer. Secretly liberate any being you see in a cage. Sound a barbarous yap over the roots of the world. The inexpressible. Be a wolf in the sheepfold of silence. Catch instants every second to heartbeat. Look for the permanent in the evanescent and fleeting. Your most intemperate voice with compassion.
Wow, it's hard. That is hard to follow. Good morning. It's my honor and pleasure to serve as chairman of the board of Calarts, and it's my honor and pleasure to welcome you all today to the inauguration of Ravi Rajan as Calarts' fourth president. There will be speeches given this morning, but I won't give one. Just want to say, be the gadfly of the state and also its firefly. That was incredible. I'd like to welcome 4 people to come and make some remarks this morning. Leanne Schmidt, representing the faculty, Alan Eder, the staff, Abby Sowing, students, and John D'Amico as an alumni. I also want to just welcome and acknowledge and thank so many people who worked so hard to put this incredible extravaganza together. And it's such a Calarts thing. It's hilarious and funny and maybe a little dangerous and just fantastic. So thank you to everybody. I also just want to say to acknowledge and thank the folks who are here, but also the people who aren't here, all the students from the past, who I guess we can call alumni, faculty and staff who were here previously, administrations, past and present, the crazy parents who agreed to send their children here from the past and the present, all of you as supporters from the past, the folks in Santa Clarita, the insane people who thought of creating the school in the first place, all of these people created the Calarts that we know and love and brought us to this moment. And so they deserve acknowledgement, the people who aren't here. I'm going to applaud them. And at that, I would throw it to Leanne to come up and do her. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. Welcome. This is really inspiring, actually, to see all these different generations of people gather. I'm here today speaking on behalf of the faculty of Calarts. As everyone always notoriously says, Calarts is a really unique place. It was formed as a community of artists. It remains a community that strives to reject what is expected for a chance to see always what is potential. It thinks not of what it should be, but what might be yet to come. Small institutions can have tremendous social and political impact. The stature and voices of our graduates and our faculty have always far exceeded the size of the institution itself. Calarts was never designed to be a hermetic place. It was always thought of as a space that would develop artists and then urge them to bring their voices out into the world. Today, we're reminded, perhaps yet again, that there's a clear need for institutions and thinkers who are willing to step up and speak of ideals, to advocate for the potentials of learning and the values of creating, and insist on the necessity for new models. The teaching that occurs here at Calarts has always served as a clear model of art teaching and art practice, and it stands in contrast to much of what the art world and education have actually become. Because fundamentally, Calarts has always been a community. And Ravi, it's this community that I welcome you into. My association with this school has been one of the most profound artistic relationships of my life. I was here as a student, and I've been here over a decade as a faculty. It's a community that has challenged my thinking and expectations at every turn. I'm deeply proud of this school. I honor its history and its mission intensely. And so it's with great joy, Ravi, that I extend the faculty's welcome to you as our new president. We welcome you to the community of Calarts with all its challenges and with all of its potentials. But thank you very much.
Greetings, and thank you all for joining us today. My name is Alan Eder. I've been the piano technician with the School of Music for nearly 34 years. Hit me with music. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I am also an alum with an MFA in African Music and Dance. Go Africa! While a graduate student at Calarts, I was awarded a Fulbright scholarship for research and study in West Africa. In addition, the woman I married was a Calarts graduate and an employee, and we are the parents of an alum. In short, I am heavily invested in Calarts. Thanks to the remarkable tenure of Stephen Levine, Calarts has not conducted a presidential search for nearly 3 decades. In their considerable wisdom, our Board of Trustees decided to assemble a highly inclusive Presidential Search Advisory Committee made up of representatives from all of Calarts' core constituencies. The committee was charged with sorting through the many candidates and forwarding a shortlist to the board's executive committee for the final selection. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for our Board of Trustees for choosing to approach this search so broadly. Having served as the staff trustee to the board years ago, I can tell you it is a board like no other. We are really fortunate to have them. I was elected to the search committee by the Calarts staff. Serving on this important committee was one of the high points of my nearly 40-year association with Calarts. The committee was populated with so many thoughtful, passionate, articulate individuals who all care deeply about our school on a hill and in their own unique ways. The warp and weave of the committee's strength made me confident early on in the process that if the consulting search firm presented us with good candidates, we would be able to winnow it down to a few outstanding possibilities. When Ravi came for his second interview during the presidential search, he and I had a locking of horns moment. Remember that, Ravi? Yes, you do. We were sitting right next to each other. I had asked him a somewhat convoluted question, and he stood his ground. It was, shall we say, a visceral engagement, unlike any one that any committee member had had with any other candidate. I was stimulated by it, but also a bit concerned that I may have overstepped in, shall we say, hitting the ball back to his side of the court. After the interview was over, I rose, extended my hand with a smile on my face, and thanked him for the encounter. He smiled broadly, appeared to be none the worse for wear, and told me that he too appreciated our spirited exchange, as he characterized the interaction. For me, the experience was like an electromagnet being switched on. So compelling was his extraordinary combination of nimbleness of mind, decisiveness, resilience, and above all, imagination. These attributes, which we've all been enjoying since Ravi started on campus, were encapsulated in those few auspicious moments during the interview. Looking back, it is easy to see that in a field deep with excellent candidates, the further the process moved forward, the more all roads led to Ravi. After being chosen to become our next president, Ravi made several trips to campus in order to start getting acquainted. At the meeting with staff, someone asked the stock question, "What is your vision for the future of Calarts?" Ravi responded by saying that he didn't have an agenda to push per se, but wanted to spend the first year getting to know Calarts better. Then he added, quite unsolicited, that he had a sense of destiny about his being here. With that declaration, my eyes widened with empathy, and I reflexively flashed him 2 thumbs up from my seat in the front row, even more optimistic than ever before that we had indeed found the right person for the job. Since Ravi came on board, fellow employees have come up to me and said things like, "Thank you and the rest of the search committee for finding us such a great president." We on the committee had been mentally preparing ourselves for the possibility of having to defend our selection, and perhaps the selection process itself, if need be. But these votes of confidence have been ongoing reminders of just how well the search process worked. Ravi, speaking for myself and on behalf of the entire staff and the extended Calarts community, we welcome you, we embrace you, we are at your service, ready to follow your lead into Calarts' glorious future. Thank you.
I'm Abigail Salling, and I am currently the student trustee. I had a lot of trouble writing this speech. To begin with, I'm not a writer, much to the dismay of my parents. I'm also not an actor or a public speaker. I'm a manager, and that means I'm really good at documentation, organization, and slightly more creatively, contextualization of events. So that's what I'm going to do today. We, the search committee, met with Ravi for a 2-hour interview on October 26th of last year. This was in the middle of load-in for the Calarts Halloween party, which is a big project. I had just gotten back from Detroit after 4 days of participating in Remap Detroit, Arts in a Changing America's large-scale event. This one focused on creating an arts and social justice context around economic displacement, decolonizing spaces, and rethinking the idea of majority-minority cities and states. Meanwhile, quite bitterly, the entire country was deciding on a new president. We were about 2 weeks away from the final result, and in my opinion, it wasn't a good one. And there I was, 20 years old, talking with board members, trustees, faculty, staff, and an amazing group of candidates themselves, trying to find a new president for Calarts. In other words, there was a lot going on. Ravi was the last interview of the day, and at least for me, he was the most memorable. He gave a presentation that included the amazing things that we do as Calartians. He engaged with us Socratically, asking us about our opinions, which made me feel that my opinions were valid. He made us all feel like equals, and not every presidential candidate did this. Out of all of the candidates, Ravi was immediately my first pick. He spoke like the teachers here. He brought up new ideas, and he wasn't afraid to say that he didn't have all of the answers. He asked us questions about what was working, what wasn't, what our differing perspectives offered in terms of insight, and made it clear that he wasn't coming in with a magic wand. He embraced and embodies the collaborative spirit of Calarts. Since arriving last spring, Ravi has spoken with many people on campus. He's met with students and has seen the art we make. He has helped with orientation and in Move-In Day. He's gone to galleries and shows, and as of later today, he will perform right alongside of students. Since being selected, he's been present and woven himself into the fabric of Calarts. I'm happy that Ravi was my first choice. I'm excited to work with him, and I'm excited to see where he leads this school. But most of all, I'm very excited to see how he works with all of the great artists who are here now and will be soon. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm John D'Amico. I'm a proud Calarts graduate, a city council member, and a mayor from the city of West Hollywood. And a big congratulations to Ravi Rajan. Ravi, I have this proclamation from the city of West Hollywood in honor of your becoming the president of the California Institute of the Arts. You know, West Hollywood was founded in protest and optimism in 1984 and has a similar story as a laboratory of cultural invention, taking risks, expanding boundaries, living our authentic lives out loud, and along the way, changing the world. Calarts, too, has a short and tremendous past, and without question, an enviable future history of inventing the culture that the world will soon consume. We can all see it from here. Calarts lives best when it lives at the hopeful threshold of invention. Ravi and friends, today I'm here to advocate that our future Calarts history also includes rendering ourselves and future artists more visible in the political. Now, again, still, we need activism to help right the world. Those are simple words. Be visible in the political. Cause your government to notice you. Take action. Cause your government to believe in you. Take bold action. Cause your government to have your priorities. Take bolder action. It is always our responsibility to make sure that our government reflects our priorities. So be visible in the political, and expect no less, and demand no less, and accept no less. Let your elected officials and those running for office know that the arts are always part of the solution. Let your elected officials know that the arts bring people together. They're a huge economic engine. They employ people in good jobs. They can bridge the right and the left. And more than that, the arts continue to make the world a better place. So let your elected officials know that you're depending on them to include you in their plans and their decisions, and that you're willing to help. And then help. Educate them, volunteer, share your work with them, drop by their office and knock on their door. Introduce yourself as an artist. Invite them to come and see your work. Let them see how much and how many we really are. Cause them to see that inventing the world is what artists do, it's what you do, and it's what they do and what we can do together. So my Calarts education entrusted me with the transcendent idea that understanding how ideas fit together and how they fall apart shares the dynamic space with where culture and politics exist. That's the same place where government opens up to new ideas and opportunities for more life and more life on our terms. More life on our terms. Ravi, we trust that your vision for the future of Calarts includes a global reach, includes advocating for policies that expand culture, making opportunities, includes rendering Calarts and all artists visible, and will include engaging with the political. We want more life, and we want to help, and we wish you much future success. In fact, we can all see your success from here. Best of luck, and thank you.
High up in the nest. called Fell Runner. Very happy to be here. Welcome, Ravi. This is a song about my friend named Jeff who wants to be an astronaut. And he likes to lay out on the hood of his car and stare at the stars from the parking lot. And if you ask him what he's seeing, he will tell you that he's just trying to wrap his mind around how insignificant he really is. And that he likes the way it makes him feel. And Jeffrey's a guy, he's just a guy like you and I. But in his heart he wants to fly, and in his mind he is determined to. Jeffrey was just a little boy, the only toys that he would play with were his spaceships. Oh, and how he loved them so very, very much. And when you look into his eyes, you can see the infinite night sky, and every sun and every moon orbiting around the pupil. So when it comes time to say goodbye, I'll look into his night sky eyes and say, oh Jeffrey, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Jeffrey is an astronaut, he likes to fly about and look around. Weightless floating in the sky, dancing with the stars, Jeffrey gets down. I spent the day dream catching while reality kept trash talking me and my ideas on the way things should. They've put a price on my time and the resources that come naturally, hoping to see the way that I see. Take me up, my bones need a little of your stuff. So take me up. No way, there seems there's no way to recognize when something's faded away and then replaced with the light of a new day. When hesitation holds me in the place that lies between love and fate, I know the path that I will take. Take me up, my
Now it's my pleasure to welcome Ravi, Rajan, the fourth president of Calarts.
You know, we practiced this and prepared, and I'm not sure anybody really prepared me for this. So thank you all. Tim, thank you. Thank you all for all that you've done as board chair and all that you continue to do for this institution. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I'm honored by this invitation to serve as the fourth president of Calarts. I'm particularly moved by the warm welcome and support I've received over the past few months from the members of the Calarts community, past, present, and future. I'm most thankful, however, to my forever family, many of whom are here today. My parents, and especially my wife Lucy and my sons Leander and Livius. They agreed to pull up stakes in New York City and move across the country to form a new life in the sunshine of Los Angeles. Thank you for your love, your trust, your courage, and your support as we embark on this new adventure together. Today, I'm also very honored to welcome two previous presidents of Calarts here today, Robert Fitzpatrick and Stephen Levine. Their combined leadership goes back to 1975, when Calarts was very young and just finding its footing. Thank you both for joining us this morning. Thank you for your dedicated service, wisdom, and stewardship. Your leadership is what helped make Calarts what it is today, one of the very best arts institutions in the world. On this important occasion, we should also remember Calarts' first president, Robert W. Corrigan, who helped open many new schools, among them NYU's Tisch School of the Arts, and of course, Calarts. Dr. Corrigan was a visionary educator, theater scholar, and many of the values we hold most dear here at Calarts are ones he put in place at the very beginning. And of course, all of you, the Calarts family, thank you so much for taking the time to participate in today's festivities. It speaks volumes that so many of you showed up to honor the Institute as it installs its next president, with a flash mob, no less. I am certain this is the largest crowd ever assembled for an inauguration. Should I tweet that out, Tim? But seriously, I hope to make you even prouder of Calarts in the years to come, which is going to be a tall order, because this is an amazing, amazing crowd. Presidential inauguration speeches are a peculiar genre. They ask a new president to celebrate a school's history and give a compelling vision for its future, and sometimes wants this vision before the new president even knows the institution well. Never a wise move. So let's start with history. Many of you know the story. Walt Disney had three great passions: movies, Disneyland, and Calarts. As early as the 1930s, Walt was thinking about an academy for the arts. We could get the best instructors from all over the country, he wrote in 1939. From the start, Calarts was a bold experiment. No one had quite done this before. bringing the visual and performing arts together, all in one school and all in one building. It was as though some mad scientist wanted to see what happened when practical business people joined forces with risk-taking artists to create a school. Fireworks were sure to ensue. The fact that Walt himself didn't attend college was no deterrent to his vision. His brother Roy explained, Walt was obsessed with the idea that in life, you just continually go to school. You keep learning, exploring, and creating for your entire life. Learning, exploring, creating. This lifelong quest is deeply ingrained here at Calarts, and we get that from our founder. Walt had big dreams for this experimental school. He famously set up a trailer on the Disney studio lot, which contained a model on the campus. He used the trailer to persuade influential donors. He would muse aloud about inviting Picasso and Dali to join the faculty. He even contemplated his own role on the faculty. I don't mean drawing, Walt said to a friend, admitting that in fact he wasn't the best draftsman. I'm a damn good story man. I could teach story. With the vision of Walt and the guidance of his brother Roy, two great institutions, the Los Angeles Conservatory of Music and the renowned Chouinard Art Institute, joined forces to become California Institute of the Arts. This transition was not without its pains, including the peril of merging faculty from two institutions and an earthquake in Sylmar that delayed the opening. Upon that opening in November of 1971, the first faculty in Valencia, a rather legendary group, shaped an innovative curriculum that championed original voices, creative collaborations, and the intentional blurring of the boundaries between the arts. As Calarts began to lay down our roots, the alumni and faculty began shaping its story, one of extraordinary drive and powerful ideas. Calarts grew to include new perspectives and new artists, giving the school a reputation for teaching the avant-garde to students who were focused on breaking the rules. Meanwhile, our home city of Los Angeles began to reimagine its story, positioning itself as a growing cultural mecca. This is a story to which Calarts proudly contributed, and at a ratio far out of proportion to our size. From Star Wars to the '84 Olympics, from policymakers to Oscar-winning animators, the recording studio to the TV station, underground clubs to major museums, concert halls, and theaters, Calarts fueled the growth of the Los Angeles art scene as it still does to this day, except now, our graduates fuel the arts across 6 continents. Walt Disney's third great passion, like his first two, had become a culture-changing success. So, where is Calarts today? A few years ago, a task force comprised of people who know and love this school produced a report called Calarts 2030, which mapped out a plan for the Institute's future. Among the topics it explored, Calarts 2030 bravely asked, what should an arts education look like in the future? The answer, they said, was elegant in its simplicity. An arts education should be engaged and expansive, agile and in a process of constant reinvention, and outward-facing, open to new possibility. Yes, we'll continue teaching the next generation of artists, but we'll also teach them to look outward, invent possibility, and always be advocating for a better world. And really, isn't that what we do at Calarts? Always advocate for a better world? While I've only been here a few months, the Calarts 2030 answer to the arts education of the future is still the answer that we need today. In this getting to know you period, I've also been fortunate to talk with many Calartians. These have been great conversations, and what I've enjoyed most is listening to the stories and the passion in the stories. Our graduates are indeed fully engaged with the world, agile in their thinking, and outwardly facing, making connections with each other and with all aspects of our society. And most of all, they're really passionate about Calarts. What makes Calarts so special, I would ask? Their answers were amazingly consistent. Oh, I took X's course and nothing was the same after that. That changed my life forever. Of course, the names of the teachers and the courses varied, but the answer never did. A Calarts teacher changed my life. Some were quick to vouch for the rigor. The faculty, man, they challenge you here. They push you hard. But they respect you and they treat you like a peer on day one. A key component of Calarts' strength is the body of amazing thinking artists and the faculty and staff here. Thinking artists who treat students like a peer. This means everything to a young artist, and I'm humbled to be in this amazing environment. Retaining the strength of our faculty and staff is very important to me. After all, isn't that our secret sauce? The powerful relationship between mentor and student? It changes you forever. I'd like to tell you about another academic ceremony, another presidential speech. This time it's not an inauguration, but it was a convocation. It took place 54 years ago, almost to this day. On Saturday, October 26th, 1963, President John F. Kennedy, less than a month before his terrible assassination, traveled to Amherst College for a special ceremony. Amherst was dedicating its new library, which was being named for the poet Robert Frost. Kennedy's theme that day was the role of the artist in society. Allow me to share a few passages with you. When power corrupts, poetry cleanses, for art establishes the basic human truths which must serve as the touchstone of our judgment. The artist, however faithful to his personal vision of reality, becomes the last champion of the individual mind and sensibility against an intrusive society and an officious state. An intrusive society and an officious state. Kennedy continued, in a democratic society, the highest duty of the writer, the composer, the artist is to remain true to himself and let the chips fall where they may. In serving his vision of the truth, the artist best serves his nation. Isn't this also a value of Calarts? Remain true to yourself and let the chips fall where they may. Here's another. I found this one in a book called Artists in Offices by Judith Adler. In the late 1970s, Adler was a young sociologist at Memorial University in faraway Newfoundland. She decided to do a major study of arts education, including what happens to artists when they join bureaucratic organizations. She chose Calarts as the focus of her study. Her book is chock full of quotes from our founding era, but what emerges is a story of an ambitious, if somewhat untethered institution. One in particular struck me. Adler says it comes from an unnamed provost, but it doesn't take much detective work to figure out that provost was Herbert Blau, our first. At a faculty meeting, Blau told his colleagues, Calarts is one of those institutions that is determined in some peculiar way to put the whole cracked world together again. Now there's a mission statement. But actually, isn't that who we are? No matter the métier, aren't we still inspired today by that challenge? Why do we work so hard to forge the future monuments of culture? Why do we struggle to put forth darker truths that our society prefers not to confront? Why? To put this cracked world back together. Both Kennedy and Blau point us to another part of Calarts that we should be very proud of. We create citizen artists, capital C, capital A. We do this in CA, California, through CA, Calarts, to become CA, citizen artists. Our graduates make a profound impact on the world, whether it be as writers, elected officials, filmmakers, dancers, entrepreneurs, animators, musicians, disruptors, actors, photographers, or producers. Our graduates are citizen artists. They interpret the present and they steer us toward a better future. As you may have surmised, I've been trying to put a frame around the very large picture that is Calarts. It's clear to me that all of these things are a part of who we are. It's clear that Calarts changes lives and does so in very profound ways. It's clear that we attract students who want to spend their lives putting this cracked world back together again. And it's clear that Calarts prepares these students to be citizen artists that are engaged, agile, and outward-facing. Which brings me back to the whole vision thing. What's my vision for Calarts? First and foremost, this should not be my vision for Calarts. It has to be our vision. We must build it together, base it on the strength of our past, and push it boldly into the future. We have a lot of important work to do, and I'm looking forward to collaborating with the entire Calarts family on this. Together, we will strengthen Calarts so it can operate without undue reliance on tuition revenue, allowing more students who gain admission the ability to attend. Together, we will celebrate 50 years of success by telling our story and engaging our alumni in ways we never have before. Together, we will move Calarts to become a model of diversity that reflects the world in which we live. Together, we will renew our facilities and increase the special creative collisions that help define us. Together, we will honor our traditions by putting forth new models of pedagogy that prepare artists for all the ways they interact with the world. Together, we will create a novel business plan for Calarts, a plan that's as innovative as our faculty, staff, and students and alumni are. Together, we'll strengthen our global reach, sharing our mode of cultural education far and wide, and bring the world's cultures back to Los Angeles. Together, we will celebrate the strength of our faculty and staff and perpetuate that strength into the future. And most of all, we will keep Calarts true to our founding spirit of experimentation, equality, and equity in all that we do, so that our citizen artists continue to be the glue that puts this cracked world back together. Please join me so that together we can build our future. Thank you.
Good day, Calarts. How's everybody doing? Really good. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm a Calarts alumni, and it's an honor to be here celebrating this new president. What I'd like to do is present, is also welcome people and honor the indigenous lands of the people of the Chumash and the Tongva people and all of the California native peoples here today. I'd like to give a presentation of this dance called the hoop dance, and it's one of the oldest native dances done today. It's done with these circular-shaped hoops, these round shapes, and sort of what talking our new president was talking about collaborating, the interconnectedness of all people. This story was given to me before I came to Calarts, and when I came to Calarts, then expanded from there. And the story talks about this very young person. And a long time ago, the story took place in this young person's village, right? And this young person, they were about this tall, and they had real dark brown hair with this tiny little braid in the back, right? And a long time ago in this young person's village, their brothers and sisters were fighting and calling each other names. And so this young person didn't know what to do, right? They were having a hard time. So they started crying. Bah! They said, my brothers and sisters are fighting and calling each other names. I don't know what to do. And so this young person ran off into the forest. They put their head down on a rock and they started crying and crying and crying. Ah, they said, my brothers and sisters are fighting and calling each other names. And finally they said in this story, Gitchimani, this great mystery, heard this young person crying and looked over the forest like that and saw this tiny little head with this tiny little braid in the back and went down to that young person and said, hey, what's going on? That young person took their hands high up in the air like this and said, Gitchimani, great mystery. I'm just having a bad day, right? Holy wa, Gitchimani said. And people ask me all the time, they say Thai, right? Thai, they say, Thai, what does holy wa mean? What does holy wa mean? And that means holy cow, right? So Gitchimani said, holy wa, handed the young person one of these hoops, one of these circular-shaped objects, and the young person took it and looked at it and said, what's this for? And Gitchimani, great mystery, said to make as many things in nature as you can. Look at nature and form a dance from it. Look at the trees, the plants, the flowers, the two-legged, the four-legged, the winged, the rooted. Gather red willow that grows by the water. And so the young person did that, and they were instructed to do so. They took red willow. They started making piles and hundreds of these hoops, and they started dancing and dancing away, making all these beautiful trees and plants and flowers and animals and butterflies, things that they saw in nature. They took that dance and they went back to their village, and there were their brothers and sisters still there fighting with their fists in the air. And for one single moment, when those people were watching that dancer constructing this dance of peace and harmony, they dropped their fists in midair. And you know what they said? They said, Hole wa! Right? Hole what? Let me try that dance. So each one of the brothers, the sisters, the aunties, the uncles, the cousins, they all started dancing together in what is known as the People's Hoop Dance, because the dance you're about to see, it is said that no matter who you are, right? Two-legged, four-legged, winged, rooted, red, white, yellow, black, purple, green, gold, fuchsia, hot pink, and I know at Calarts you like the glitter, right? No matter who you are, you're all part of this hoop, a part of this sacred circle. And what are the ways in which we can create beautiful, elevated designs together of inspiration through art and connectivity? Does that make sense, everybody? All right. So that's a brief story about what you're going to see in motion. This dance was given to me actually back home. I'm from Wisconsin. I'm from the Oneida and the Ojibwe nations. And in this way, there are many ways to tell stories. And so we tell stories, we dance the stories, and then we do them together. So everybody, keep your eyes open. If you're melting in the sun, hold the fan up for your friend next to you and make a buddy there, or just touch elbows or something, and it's going to be okay. If you see something like a tree, plant, flower, animal, or butterfly, don't be afraid to give a hoop, a holler, or a hole-wa, right? Because this dance is not a performance, but it's a direct reflection of all of the energy and vibes and circle that we're creating here today. Does that make sense, everybody? All right, so without further ado, in celebration of our new president, bringing us all together, leading the charge into the future and honoring the past, I'd like to present with you the hoop dance. Let's hoop it up. Hia! So as you can see, as we done, we are not done yet. What we're trying to make here, folks, right? You don't have to be rocket scientists to figure out what we were trying to do, but you might have to be some kind of artist within you, right? Our call to action. If I take one hoop from this great globe of life, what's gonna happen? Come on, Calarts, what's gonna happen? I take one hoop away. Good job, A pluses for everyone, right? You take one hoop, it falls apart. What you can do, sometimes that happens in life, and we see that in communities around the world, across the nations and countries. Those messy situations happen, hatred, violence, those types of things. What we need to do when those happen is connect together like links in a chain, like we're doing here today, right? That interconnectedness. With that, in this dance you saw, we can overcome all of those messy situations, right? Using tools for art, for activism, for change, and walk any path that you choose, right? You get the opportunity to do that. Does that make sense, everybody? And then with that, when you come out the other side, you can come with a stronger globe, right? An unbreakable globe by working together. Does that make sense, everybody? All right, so what we're gonna do, I know we have some flash secret mob dancers and other people. I have some hoops out here, and other folks, if you feel like getting out of the sun, feel free to shift around and decolonize your own space. For crying out loud, I see you melting. Please grab a hoop and join me in establishing the story that we heard about people dancing together. It's a follow the leader dance, so I'm gonna have you come up and grab a hoop. I have a bunch of hoops, and close us out by creating our own nest here, and so we can elevate to new heights, just like our new president said. So come on down quickly, and we will get going. We have glitter hoops, colored hoops. It could be students, staff, teachers, uniting everyone in that sacred circle, that sacred hoop. And we have the lawn you can spread on all the way out. Let's give these hoop dancers a round of applause. You can use this at the Calarts parties when you go to them. It's quite fun. But the idea here, folks, is that we're connecting together. So here we go with the People's Hoop Dance! Hoo-ah! Alright, here we go.
To teach us about creation so we will preserve the defense of we are. This is dedicated to the wildest defense, thousands of years ago, and to the 150 million who were exterminated across the Western Hemisphere in the first 400 years' time, starting in 1419. To those who keep their homelands, and to those who extinct due to mass slaughter, slavery, deportation, and disease unknown to them, and to the ones who are subjected to the same treatment today. To the ones who survived the relocation, to the ones who died in the world, to those who carried on traditions and lived strong.
so much, everyone, for dancing. Let's give these dancers a round of applause. And yourselves for building a beautiful circle, an unbreakable circle, a continued hoop. My name is Ty DeVoe of the Oneida and the Ojibwe Nations. I'm on the interwebs such as Facebook, and now we can be friends. So, all right, here we go. Thank you so much, Calarts. I'll see you this weekend. Miigwech.
That was incredible. I have, unfortunately, the task of going from the poetic to the prosaic. They've actually asked me to suggest that you use the restroom before you go to the picnic, which is over there. That way? That way. Follow the crowd. There are 12 food trucks. Bring your seat cushions because we're going to be sitting on the grass over there. Thank you, everyone.